Sup, it's your boy, Big Reg, coming to you for the third year in a row after a Michigan Wolverines victory in the game, defeating the OSU Buckeyes 30-24. Was that the final score? I don't even know.
24.
30-24. Holy smokes, folks. This was the game where everything was on the line. Because you knew with all the hatred that had been poured upon Team 144 that if the Michigan Wolverines lost this game, there would be no college football playoffs for them. But man, oh man, this team, as they have done all season long, showed a true grit, resilience, mox even, but most importantly, teamwork. The team, and it came away with a big victory in the biggest game in years. Joining me tonight to revel and celebrate this historic victory. First and foremost, from Party Town, USA, the one, the only producer, Jay Bizzle.
I can't tell you where I am, but this shirt should say everything right here.
This boy's crazy. He's stripping in the streets, baby. He's stripping in the streets just to show what he's repping. I raise my course like you stripper. Next, joining us. Oh my goodness gracious, this man! I'm telling you, I think he almost collapsed after the game was over. From Relief, the one, the only, JC from Sunnyside.
Oh, Big Reg. The last 2 years, there was exhilaration. There was excitement. But I think this year, just emotion, just sheer emotion just poured out. And arguably the biggest game that this rivalry has ever seen. We came out on top. Total team effort. I gotta admit, I got emotional. I got a little emotional at the end of the game. And shout out to Zach Zinner. Hoping for a full recovery. But a total team effort. Total team effort.
There you go. Definitely a shout out to number 65, Zach Zinter. Oh man, you had a heck of a season so far this year and a heck of a game up to that point. We're wishing you a speedy and full recovery, brother. Next, joining us, this man, I'm telling you, he's gonna play. He's gonna pretend that he's not happy, but I know deep down inside that little bit of heart that he still has left is pumping with joy, just quivering with sheer delight. The one, the only, Mr. Squarehead.
We just had Thanksgiving, so I am going to say a few things that I'm thankful for. Number one, I'm thankful for this win. It was a great win. The emotions were high in the Square household, but I'm also thankful for Jim Harbaugh not being there. He needs to take accountability as a leader of this team. I don't care if he knew or not. He rightfully was suspended and should not have been there. But lastly, what I'm most thankful for is no fake crocodile tears. Oh, we did it for you, Jim. Oh, we did it for you. Oh, give me a break, man. Give me a break. Come on.
Wow, Mr. Squarehead. Come on, man. I know deep down inside you were shedding a little tear too of happiness, of relief, of joy. Oh, after all that we've been through this season, with all the things that been said about this team and about its accomplishments, of people trying to put the team down, to call the team a bunch of cheaters, all this thing. The way that these young men stood up against all that. Against all that adversity, against all that, all those, everyone, except for the Michigan faithful, just slinging mud at them. They fought through all of that in the biggest moments, and you knew that they were going to pull it off because of the way they played. I don't know how many penalties we had. We didn't have many penalties at all, if I remember right. How many did we have? Two, one, two. Well, heck, whichever was one or two, it wasn't very many. But most importantly, the other thing that we didn't do was turn the ball over. This team executed on such a high level in such high pressure conditions. So I'm raising Wow, this guy,
I want to thank the Lord. Oh, this freaking team, man. This team. Oh my gosh.
this guy, holy
Oh,
smokes. This heart and heart of yours. This heart and heart. Come on. Come
Dude,
on.
put some respect on Sharon Moore's name. Put some respect on that. Three
Oh, yeah.
teams, all three defeated. He's play calling and head coach at the same time, and he's not even supposed to be the head coach. Put some respect on his name.
Dare I say, we don't need Harbaugh. So therefore, Harbaugh, the door, you know where the door is. Don't even come back. We don't even need Harbaugh. Dare I say, fire Harbaugh, hire more.
Yeah, how do you take all these things? On one hand, make fun of Sharon Moore, and then on the other hand, want to elevate him to full-time head coach. This guy is crazy, but I love him. I raise my glass to you and your crazy takes. Oh my
Come
God.
on, man. So, you know why Harbaugh is great? Right? Not because he's beat OSU. We went to the playoffs for the last 2 years. In the 6 games that he wasn't around, and even in the biggest games, Penn State, and OSU today, the team fed off the culture that he's built, right? So the mark of a great leader is you set the foundation that allows other people, right, to thrive, right? Even if you're not there. And that's what these young men, that's what Sharon Moore, that's what Mike Hart, that's what Minter, that's what all of these players and coaches did. And they came out today against everybody, because it's always been Michigan against everybody, including you, Squarehead, including Bagman, including Ryan Day, including everybody that's been trying to beat these and diminish the accomplishments of these young men who have been pouring their heart and soul into the Michigan football community. And don't anybody dare take away from what these young men have accomplished. 2 years, they cheated. What happened today? Ryan Day, what can you say today? What can you say today, Ryan Day?
Hey, nobody's taking away from the accomplishments of this team. But come on, man. You're gonna use Jim Harbaugh as a leader of setting a culture for this team. What do you want to say? He set a culture of sign stealing? Then he needs to take accountability, right? I'm telling you, fire Harbaugh, hire more. There you go. There you have it. Fire Harbaugh.
I don't know how you're calling for this already, and the season's not even over yet. So you're just ridiculous. But let's get back to the actual game itself, please. Like, this is ridiculous. You have to understand that game could have gone either which way, but it went our way. Why? Because I said it before, I'll say it again. Defense wins championships. Defense, I'm getting Cartier glasses. I'm putting an order in for Cartier glasses because I need to be part of that because defense wins championships. Rod Moore, Will Johnson, they're the ones who stopped what's going on. Sandstrill with a massive hit. This team was ready to play. They were physical. They took OSU out of their game. Marvin Harrison obviously had miraculous or marvelous catches, but who cares? Didn't matter. We took care of it. Jesse Minter, give him a raise. That was a great game plan.
How fitting Rod Moore called game. The guy who had 25 offers, but none. Not a single one from Ohio State. See, Ohio State didn't offer him. He's from Ohio. 25 offers, but Ohio State didn't offer him. And he called game today with that interception.
Raise a glass to just another example of the resiliency shown by this Michigan Wolverines team, not just in this season, but in their entire careers. Guys like Michael Barrett, guys like Mike Sandistro, guys like Blake Corum, and most importantly, guys like Zach Zinter. You know, guys that wanted to come back and wanted to accomplish something much bigger than themselves. Guys like JJ McCarthy. You know what I mean? This team 144, when I think of team 144, I think the team. So I raise my glass to that.
And the resiliency of this team, like every time that they could have folded this season, every time they could have folded today, right? When Ohio State scored, we answered right back. When Zach Zinter went down, Blake Corum right? 22-yard touchdown run, and the presence of mind to look in the camera and do 6-5, right? Right after, right? To shout out Zach. That just shows you the kind of culture, the kind of men that we have on this team. Just a beautiful thing to see. And every single time that Ohio State thought that they were coming back, Michigan answered, and none other than that 7-minute, 13-play drive, right? To just say, you know what, Ohio State, you ran the ball against us the last drive. Let us show you how it's really done, right? Let us show you how it's really done. 7-minute, 13-play drive. You use all your timeouts, right, which resulted in McCord not he. If I think if they had a timeout, he might have taken the sack. He might have taken the sack, but because they didn't have a timeout, he couldn't afford to take a sack. Right, with Jalen Harrell pressuring him, which I called was going to have a big key play in the game.
Oh my gosh! Come on!
I told you, Jalen Harrell.
Come on, man.
Come on!
No, wait.
Come on, man!
Come on, man! Give Jalen Harrell some credit.
We have gonna give him credit, but we're not gonna give you credit. That's what we're saying. We're gonna give Jalen Harrell a lot of credit. We're not gonna give you credit.
But I'm saying, like, everything added up, right? That 7-minute drive forced them to use their timeouts. And then when they were driving, they had no timeouts. He couldn't afford to take that sack. Under pressure, he had to throw it off his back foot and then game.
Well, I think Joel Klatt made another good point in line with what you're saying, is that the fact that they took so much time off the clock, the fact that they made OSU use all that timeouts and made them one-dimensional. They had to throw the ball. They couldn't run anymore with Travion Henderson, which made them one-dimensional and put the game on the shoulders of Kyle McCord. And Kyle McCord and that OSU offense came up short once again. Man, oh man. For an offensive-minded coach like Ryan Day, that's got to sting. That's got to sting a lot. The fact that the quarterback that you chose over J.J. McCarthy comes up short yet again for your squad. That's got to sting. Oh, man. I was reading all those Ohio State blogs and things like that, and holy smokes. The vitriol with which they were just killing Ryan Day and Kyle McCord. Holy cow. I felt bad for those two guys. I felt bad for them. But man, Michigan, they're the ones that made them look bad. They're the ones that came up big in the big moments. One thing.
Hey, I gotta roll off soon, but 2 points. One, I can't express to you enough how much after that Zach Zinner moment made such an impact. And you know, as JC said, it's emotional. It was emotional, I think, for the guys. I think they really almost like woke up in that moment to be like, hey, we got to do this. Shout out also to my man, Blake Corum. I mean, just always solid against a tough run defense. He still goes for 88 yards, 2 touchdowns, becomes #1 rushing touchdown leader. I mean, the guy is money. He wanted it so bad. He could have gone to NFL and probably not have been drafted as high, but he came back. He worked it. He was healthy. You knew he wanted it. He wanted it so bad. And to do that. And last shout out to Donovan Edwards for throwing the pass, because at least we got him to do something.
What do you mean at least? He had a good game. Come on, this guy. Holy smokes. All these underhanded compliments from people. I won't stand for it. Holy smokes.
Come on, man. Donovan Edwards did not have a great game. We were all saying, why do they keep giving the ball to Donovan Edwards?
He had a few man. Come on, man. Come on.
And I think the reason why is because they wanted to save Corum for the second half. Did you notice in the second half it was more Corum than Edwards?
Yeah, I give you that.
I agree, but I also think they were setting up that play, the Donald play, right, where with the halfback option, setting it up. I think they were giving him the ball. Blake Corum's not going to do the halfback option, right? They gave Donald the ball, and Donald ran better today. He was falling forward. He didn't have the breakout 40-yard runs, but he ran for he had some 4 or 5 yard chunk plays. Shout out to Colston Loveland. My boy has hands. He's got really solid hands, and he's very fluid when he moves with the ball. Cornelius-
you need hands. You need hands when the ball thrown to you is not in your chest. I mean, you need hands when the ball is either behind you or too high, right? Good hands, Loveland.
Man, this
I
guy.
told you guys, if there's two things that I've been consistent with the entire season, maybe even last season, is number one, fire Harbaugh, and number two, JJ McCarthy, most overrated FBS quarterback. Come on, man. You guys
He
know
had
JJ.
0 turnovers. He had the timely runs. Okay. He had a couple timely runs to get first downs. He extended plays. He made the accurate throws when he needed to. He made that great throw to Roman Wilson for the touchdown. Come on, man.
And he had some,
0
you know, run.
turnovers.
He had some runs for first down. He had like a 15-yard run for a first down. He was I think 80% passing today. I mean, come on, man. What else do you want?
He had a good game. He had a good game.
He managed the game.
He made all the plays that we needed to in order to win. Because if you look at the flip side, on the other side, on the red side of the field, they had Kyle McCord who couldn't do that, who gave up two turnovers and cost them the game. Raise my glass to JJ.
Yeah, what I don't understand is why they didn't target Harrison Jr. more. I mean, that guy, when you throw the ball in his vicinity, we all agree he was the best player on the field. Like, they just did not target him enough.
There has to be a reason why. I think they know that Marvin Harrison's a great player, right? They know that if he's one-on-one, he probably has the upper hand. But you know, I think Will Johnson did a good job, right, up until he got injured. I mean, there were a couple of plays that he gave up, but so what? You know, he had the interception. I call that a draw. And then once we went down, you know, Mikey Sanistro was on him, Wallace was on him. You know, I think they probably shaded over. That's why that guy Fleming caught a few passes, because maybe he was you know let loose a little bit.
Yeah, I think the effect that you see that Marvin Harrison had later on when they couldn't target or didn't target him was the fact that all those other guys were shaking loose and making a lot of big plays. I mean, they had like 20-yard passes downfield so quick, you know, on that last drive. You know, a lot of that I think had to do with the fact that so much attention was being paid to Marvin Harrison. You know, Maserati Marvin. Like
oh gosh, those guys. I don't know. I feel like they were a little bit biased toward OSU today. That's the way I felt. That's the way I felt.
Oh man, that's his nickname. That's the and then he always says it like that.
No, the one with Roman Wilson that was clearly a catch and a touchdown. He was like, "Oh, I don't know if he had possession. I don't know if he had possession."
Roman Wilson, that touchdown.
Yeah, he had possession and he broke the plane.
that was a fortunate call for us.
Oh,
wow.
Come on, man.
Wow. Listen, I'll put it this way. I'll give you that call back if OSU gives us back a fourth and 1 for JT Barrett. You know what I'm saying? You give us that call back, I'll give you this call back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that JT Barrett call, that was egregious. This one, you got to admit, it was either like 51-49 on away. I mean, that was so much closer that Roman Wilson catch or supposed catch.
Dude, touchdowns are like being pregnant. You either are pregnant or you're not. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 51% pregnant.
No, there's no kind of pregnant, bro. Come on, man. You know this. You got like 17 children. Come on, man.
Hey, Cornelius showed some hands today.
He did.
You know, there was one in his breadbasket, but there were a couple of catches. He showed some hands.
The one on the sidelines. That was a key play right there. That one on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you the other thing that was so good, where it showed the difference between our team and their team, special teams. The fact that we were 3 for 3 on field goals and they missed that field goal, the 50-yarder right before the half, that was huge. Momentum-wise. And I shouldn't just say momentum-wise, but just scoreboard-wise. Scoreboard-wise, those 3-point difference, the fact that we could keep them at like a 2-score deficit for most of the second half was huge.
You can tell the difference in approach between Ryan Day and Sharon Moore. Sharon Moore, aggressive. 4th down, we're going for it. Ryan Day, 4th and 2, 50-something seconds left. You know, you're at your own 40. Like, you could have gone for that, right? You
He
could have
had a
been a little
touchdown
aggressive.
too.
Yeah, you could have been aggressive, but Ryan Day, you know, shaky.
Come on,
Little
man. That was on his own side of the field.
What are you talking about?
Sherrod,
oh, right before the half. Right before the
right,
half,
but
he kicked a 52-yard field goal. Well,
Yeah, he
attempted
could have
a
went
50.
for it.
Yeah.
Anyway, Ryan Day. Well, let me put Ryan Day to the side right now. And let me just talk about the OSU players. Okay. We all know there's a heated rivalry, et cetera, blah, blah, blah. But I'm gonna have to pay a compliment to the OSU players. I respect them. I think that they're super talented, et cetera, et cetera. But the thing that made me respect them more was the fact that despite the heatedness of this rivalry, they didn't stoop down to the level of pettiness and chippiness that you might see from, let's say, like an MSU. You know what I mean? MSU, you look at that rivalry, and it's a lot more dirty plays, this, that, and the other thing. And it's been that way over the years with MSU. But when you look at OSU, especially this game, I gotta admit, there was a lot of emotion out there, but both sides played well, played hard, played tough, but played it clean. So I raise my glass to that. Sportsmanship.
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's that or they're just soft. They're just soft, man.
Wow.
They just embody that, you know what, hey, we're not going to go for it on 4th and 2 at our own 40 with 52 seconds left. I think they're just soft.
Wow. I'm trying to be diplomatic here, and this guy,
come on, man,
just throwing mud right back again. Holy smokes, this guy.
Another game ball. Trevion Henderson was a player I was very concerned about going into this game. He was having monster games. The last 3-4 games, I think he was like, his name started floating up in the Heisman race. But the Michigan D line stepped up, right? Junior Colson, even though he didn't make any spectacular plays, you look at the box score, he got 11 tackles. So shout out to the D line for wrapping up Trevion Henderson.
how many rushing yards did the Buckeyes have?
Who, Trevion?
No, just overall, how many rushing yards did OSU have?
They had 107.
Yeah, I mean, it was the same old
It-
script. We outrushed them, and we won the turnover battle. You know what I mean?
I mean, it seemed like a lot more. There was that one drive where they literally just like pounded it down our throats.
Yeah.
And there was a point there where I was like, shoot, if we don't respond here, this could be it, because OSU just had the momentum where they literally, I think they rushed the ball like eight plays in a row. And the way we responded to that drive, I think, was the key, I guess, clincher. I mean, there are a lot of key plays in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it just goes to show that this team, it took all facets of the team executing to win this game. Special teams, defense, and the offense. Everybody had to step up. Everybody had a chance to shine. Everybody had their moment where they needed to make a great play in order for us to secure this victory. And again, that's what makes it so satisfying to me. Sure, it wasn't the blowout that I had predicted, but man, oh man, was this was probably the most satisfying of the 3 victories that we've had in a row for me. So
No, I agree. This was the most satisfying because Harbaugh was not on the sideline, and he proved, Sharon Moore proved, thank the Lord, he proved that we don't need Harbaugh on the sideline to win these tough games. Arguably, we've played the 3 toughest games, PSU, Maryland, and now OSU, and Harbaugh wasn't even in the stadium, and we still won. What does that show? The evidence is there, boys. The fact is, we don't need Harbaugh on the sideline. You know what we just need? We just need the thought of him and say, hey, we're going to win this game for Harbaugh. That's all we need. We don't even need him.
But Harbaugh was at the helm all week. He was at the helm, like leading the game plan all week. He was
Don't
there
need him.
motivating players all week,
Don't
setting
need
the
him.
culture for the last 2-3 years, setting the foundation that others can build upon and thrive in for the last 3 years.
Culture of sign stealing. We don't need him.
Holy smokes.
Nameless.
Just like we need Coach Harbaugh on the sidelines. We need this next man in order to pump us up over the big victory that we had today. The one, the only, nameless guest. Welcome to the show. Nameless guest? Holy smokes. This guy.
Just
Motionless guest is more like it. He is frozen, folks. Holy smokes. What is going on over there? Nameless guest, you're on.
You're
still
muted.
on mute. Wow.
Here, maybe the host, you can unmute him.
I don't know. Let's see. What can I do? What can I do? Let's see. It says ask to unmute.
Oh, there he is.
Oh man, this is yeah, he's on mute. I don't know how.
Wow. Wow, we had such momentum going here.
I know, and now it's kind of killed it. Wow. Squarehead has jumped off. Nameless has jumped in mute. And 6 years later, he still doesn't know how to unmute himself.
Oh, he left. He just said
he's like, screw it.
What is happening? The biggest game.
Biggest game of how many years? Come on, man. Come on. Good gravy.
Oh, here he is. Kid. Yes, nameless.
Oh my. That is such a ridiculous false kind of comment. It's just Harbaugh's team. Because of Harbs, we've come this magnificent journey of three Big Ten championships, 3 wins against Ryan Day, Crying Baby Day. This is a day of great celebration and joy and jubilation. And everyone on the team, as Sharon Moore said, would run through a freaking wall for Coach Harbs. That's it. I mean, this is
so emotional.
It was emotional. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. I was emotional. And I'm getting emotional now. Like, you know, this was a culmination of like the drama, the hardships, all the negativity, Paul Feinbaum, everybody just laying it on the Michigan Wolverines. And
it was hilarious. It was crazy.
Glorious today.
Crazy. Like all the like I said, I read a lot of the OSU blogs. Before the game, they were calling us what were they calling us? Cheater again. That's what they called us. Cheater again. And I was like, that doesn't really, but whatever's, that's cool. And then after the game, they were like, I can't believe we lost again to Cheater again. They were like, McCord is terrible. Get him out of here. They were saying that we got to stop recruiting out-of-state players. They said we need to recruit more Ohio players that understand what the rivalry is. They were saying that, you know, their OSU players don't take this rivalry seriously enough. I mean, they were just saying some crazy stuff. Crazy. But you know what? I'm glad that they're suffering. I'm glad that they're losing their minds. I'm glad that they are so deranged in anger and frustration that they can't see straight. And in their rage and anger and frustrations, I hope they still wallow in defeat and they stay that way for many more years to come. So I raise my glass to that. Wow, these guys shares my enthusiasm for the misery of OSU Nation.
Oh, you know, if you want to just pile on and just tap into that vein, stick on Sam Webb's response. Have you seen his yet? He
Mm-mm.
went.
I was saving it. I was
Oh.
saving that.
That's put it right next to an Insta Classic of this game. This game is going straight to ESPN Insta Classic. Freaking, that's besides the point that they're a scumbag organization. I hope nobody showed up to their college game day. We have so many enemies. Michigan's against everyone. Screw y'alls. We prevailed. Good versus evil. Michigan just stomped their way through. Freaking.
I actually enjoy this villain role. You know what I mean?
I love it.
I'm okay with it. I'm
There's
kind of loving it. You know?
there's a look, come on, guys. There's a reason why we're the villain here. Okay, is nobody else in this room accepting the fact
We're
that
Michigan
there's
fans.
a reason why we're the villain?
We're Michigan fans.
Yeah, I'm a Michigan fan too.
Barely.
Dude. I
Barely.
was jumping up and down just as much as you guys. We were texting back and forth. Come on, man. But there's got to be some type of reality check here. There's a reason why we're the villain here. And the reason and the result of that was a 3-game winning streak by Sharon Moore, the greatest head coach of all time. Sign him next 10 years.
Props to Sharon Moore. You're looking at the next, gotta be the Broyles Coach Award winner right there for what he achieved these last few weeks. Don't you think? I mean, he is one of those finalists, semifinalists, something or another.
They're not gonna give it to him.
He can't be, Hanny.
Why not?
3 games.
Michigan is gonna get any awards this season. The only thing that we're gonna win are the team awards, which are Big Ten champions, national champions. That's the only awards that we're gonna win. We're not gonna win any kind of voted on awards.
They might even, dude, the NCAA might even vacate some of our wins if they come up with some cockamamie reason, blah, blah, blah. I mean, who knows? Who knows what the NCAA is gonna do?
Even if they do, we already have won it on the field. So again, I'm okay with being the villain. I'm okay with it. I'm fine with it. If people hate on us, I'm okay with it. You know what I mean? Even Hulk Hogan turned from good guy to heel. You know what I'm saying? I'm okay with it.
Oh, but this is not a day to talk about the shenanigans and the dysfunctionalities of the NCAA and the sham scandal that they've manufactured and chose to make as if this is something worthy of the death penalty. That's a different topic for a different day, not the day we became the three-time victors over our arch rivals, the Suckeyes. Yikes.
Makes it even sweeter that we've started the next of 1,000 victories. We're the first team to get 1,000 victories in the history of college football, and we've started our second 1,000. This new millennia of victories with a victory over OSU. So I raise my glass to that.
But I gotta admit, you know, this is just me being totally honest. There was a moment in the game where I thought this new millennia of victories might have to wait. When OSU went down, marched it down our throats, and Trevion Henderson scored that touchdown, like we looked a little defeated. Even the next drive, I was like, ooh, we got to answer with the score. And then when Zach Zinner went down, I was like, ooh, this is going to hurt. But when Zach Zinner put his arms up, right, just lifted the spirits of, you know, his brothers, the tears, you know, streaming down some of the big boys' faces.
What is this? What are you writing?
The
some
tears
drama
streaming down my
here?
face. JC from Sunnyside, you know, there was a little tear. Oh man, I think you know that was the turning point in the game. That I think was the emotional turning point in the game where we were like, you know, we're gonna do it for Zach. The emotional spirits were lifted, and even when he was going through the tunnel, he raised his fist one more time, even with a broken tibia and fibia. Man, that was emotional. That was emotional. And then Blake Corum, 22 yards. the 6'5", the presence of mind. Oh, just a beautiful, beautiful sight. Just a beautiful sight.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked that all 150 whatever fans there just didn't all start crying in unison. Come on, man. Give me a break.
I mean, these guys are emotional, but I mean, and JJ did say as much in the post game, but to I would agree with you wholeheartedly about where we all felt the game slipping away, where Buckeyes turned into smash mouth Michigan, and I really thought that was like Day's masterful plan to flip the script, down with the narrative that they're soft,
Right.
get
Yes.
hard, win the game by saying we freaking tough and we beat them at their own game. I was like, oh my gosh, he's done it.
Yep.
And that idiot pulled almost his best version of a James Franklin and called the next series and went away from. I mean, they could have just kept. I honestly think they could have kept rolling. They were blowing our guys off the ball.
I don't know, that next series, it wasn't the same 1st and 5, 1st and 4 for Ohio State. You know what I mean? That next series that they had after our series, it went back to like 1st and 8, 1st and 9. And I think that's why he had to switch it up again.
I think a more disciplined play caller who's not so wedded to, the Maserati Marv and the thousand.
Yeah, look at it from Ryan Day's point of view. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You guys are saying he should have kept giving it to Travion Henderson. And then just a few minutes ago, we were saying, how come we didn't give more touches to Maserati Marvin, the best player on the field? You know what I mean? He was doing as the game dictated. And we got to admit, even that last series, when he had Kyle McCord under center with just over a minute to go to win the game, I mean, them boys drove the whole way. And thank goodness for Rod Moore stepping up to make the big play. Otherwise, it would have been bunt clinch time once again. But I raise my glass to the Michigan defense stepping up when they did. I can't believe you guys moved me to defend Ryan Day. That was crazy. Holy smokes. But I hope he stays as the coach of OSU for a long time. That's what I hope. I think he's great for the rivalry.
You could tell he was flustered, even as he was getting off the bus going to the tunnel. Like his face was all flush, but it was like red, like
he always
pale on one side.
Come on, man. His face is always, dude. You have the knack of adding drama and emotions to like everything. Did you see the way Ryan Day was walking off the field through the tunnel?
It was hunched.
It was like, oh yeah, he looked like. I mean, he looked like his dog just got ran over and he saw it. I mean, he was just so dejected.
I love it. I love it.
That post game where they showed the tunnel of him walking off with the players.
Yeah,
that was the look of a man who was miserable, absolutely miserable. And like his body language, like his shoulders were hunched over like this, slightly looking down, just trudging back to the OSU locker room. Oh,
because he orchestrated this whole sign stealing thing, right? He, for 2 years, he was beat, but then he was going to orchestrate this whole narrative that Michigan cheated, and this was going to be his vindication today. And then what happened? He got his butt kicked today. And what's he going to say? Nothing, right? Shoulders hunched over, pale face, just crying to the referees all game. Come on, man. Ryan Day. Get out of here.
Amen. You know it. That's why Sam Webb was so hot. So hot. And if you're of like mind, if you're a true blue Wolverine, listen in and it'll be salve for your soul. Because Day is the true villain. What a...
Yeah.
Really?
Scumbag.
Oh,
you
man.
can just tell the sleazy scumbag. Like,
oh, jeez, oh, Pete.
Ugh. Ugh.
Listen, I don't know what else to say about it, but all I can say is we can say all the sleaziness off the field, this, that, and the other, but when it came to stuff on the field, once again, I want to raise my glass to the excellence that Team 144 showed in balling out today. We said it before, and we'll say it again. In the biggest moments, under the highest pressure, with all the highest stakes to play for, this team came up big. Special teams came up big, offense came up big, defense came up big, and it's so satisfying to see. Because as Michigan fans, you've seen a lot of times when Michigan has kind of wilted under the pressure. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go into the long history of Michigan wilting under the pressure, but man, oh man, today, with everything being said, thrown at us, all the naysayers and the haters and everything else, the fact that this team was able to show resilience and come out with that W, so satisfying. So I raise my glass.
In such a high intensity, like the game, like of every game, this is the game. Like to have such a disciplined team today. No unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, no roughing the passer, no unnecessary roughness. Just, I think we had 3 penalties. One was the out of bounds kickoff, right? Mason Graham to the face, and I forget what the other one was.
Will Johnson.
Will Johnson pass interference.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it, right? And 0 turnovers. Just a well-disciplined team. That's all here.
They had an
right?
unsportsmanlike conduct, removing the helmet.
This guy, come get
Yeah,
out.
actually, I think that's the one that counted because the Will Johnson one, maybe they waved off.
Right. Because Harrison caught it.
Yep. But that's when the game was over. That's like 2.5.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh no, absolutely. That I mean, everybody should just take it off their helmets then.
That's the one criticism I have. If there's only one, they all should have taken off their helmets because at that point you have situational awareness and be like, screw this, man. You mother suckers, you suck, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Man.
They should have all taken off their helmets.
Yeah. We're thinking kneel down anyway. No timeouts.
Gosh.
Like a 57-yard penalty all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Yes.
Yeah, then we get to the half-yard line, and then we have the no.
Did you hand out any game? Did you recognize any stellar contributions and performances other than, obviously Sharon Moore?
We did to a few, including the player that I said that was going to have a key play, Jalen Harrell.
Big one.
But I'm curious to hear who your key players are.
Not in necessarily any order, but one that I'm still freaking jazzed up about, just seeing replay after replay, is one of my favorite heroes and team leaders, Mikey Sanderstill. That bone crushing just hit that just riled up. He could barely contain himself. He had to remind himself. And for like a split second, he's like, oh, I got to get back to the next play. But he was so fired up after he made that hit. That was huge. And even just listen to Chaz Woodson, just the stuff that he does even before the whistle blew and the game started. Him like giving a rousing speech to the team even before the game starts, like the night before, I think they said. Oh my gosh, you just can't discount the value of this kind of stuff. The Blakeys, the JJ, these team leaders, the senior leadership. Oh, I am getting emotional. Now I know what you mean. It's just too much. It's too much.
It is.
And CJ, the guy we rag on.
Yeah, you guys. I always believed in CJ.
But CJ, man, he always comes up big in the biggest moments. Like, we needed every one of those catches that may not seem like much, but you got to make those. And he held on to them. I mean, other than the first throw of the game, when it was like a little bit just nerves or whatever, not the best of throws. He didn't catch that 7-yard wide out the first throw of the game. He was money. So props to him.
First throw of the game, that wasn't even close. There's no way he would have caught that. You have to remember who's throwing that pass is JJ McCarthy. I mean, let's just all be.
He was 16 to 20. He was 16 to 20. Come on, man.
Let's be thankful here that JJ did not lose this game for us. That scramble out and he threw the ball across his body. Even the commentators are like, "What the heck are you doing?" I mean, let's just be thankful here that JJ did not lose this game for us, and he was efficient and he managed the game. But JJ could have easily lost this game for us. Oh, I'm getting emotional. Oh,
but he didn't. JJ did JJ things, and when we needed him to, and
that was a great look to Cornelius Johnson on that play where he threw it left when he was running right, because there was a whole lot of daylight right in front of Cornelius. If he was a little bit more on the money, another huge hit and a huge play in the game. I think Sandestro had that big hit, but Quentin Johnson.
Quentin, yes.
Whew. Huge play.
Massive.
Last drive, yeah.
Huge play.
The only thing where I was disappointed was I was like, what are you pointing for? Get the ball. Oh, gosh. Because if we had gotten that fumble recovery there, it would have let me relax a lot sooner. Goodness gracious.
And you know what? The second coming of Money Moody, man. Those kicks. What's his name? James Turner? Cannot appreciate him enough. Where OSU missed, our guy hit twice. Huge.
Like I said, all the ways that OSU came up a little bit short, we went a little bit further. I mean, where Travion Henderson couldn't break off a long run to get a touchdown, Blake Corum busts out a 20-yard pluser to get a touchdown in a key moment. Where their place kicker couldn't make the 50-yard field goal, our place kicker goes 3 for 3, perfect for the day. You know what I mean? Where our defense came up big when we had to, their defense couldn't come up big when they had to. They couldn't keep us out of the end zone. I think the commentators were saying we scored on 5 of the last 6 drives in the second half, something like that. I mean, those are the kind of things that you got to do in order to win these kind of rivalry games. You can't let any opportunity buy you. You got to cash in every opportunity that you can. And that's what Michigan Wolverines did. So I raise my glass to them.
You know, you just saying how we bottled up Travion, that was huge. And so, I mean, I'm just going to make a guess here, but maybe an unsung hero, one that may deserve a little bit of a shout out is Junior, because he was the leading tackler yet again this game. And so, he was in on a bunch of just mundane run stops. I mean, it was a run wall. It was a total team effort, but he's a key cog, and he wraps up, and he just pulls down more people than anybody else on the team. He's always the lead tackler. So everybody, so many contributors. I mean, just talking about that now, I'm flipping back to the offensive side. That slow motion yet big chunk yard gain from Barner. You needed that when that came too. Like, we needed that in the worst way.
That came after Joel Klatt was like, "Oh, Colson Loveland has left the game. He's a big part of the blah." And then AJ Barner steps up, makes that huge play. Oh my goodness!
Oh,
the team.
Orgy, giving his little pounding, just that. Oh my God! I mean, the second run, I mean, wasn't nearly as successful, but that first one, oh my gosh!
I'm telling you, that just goes to show you. You know what? A surprise orgy is a big thing. Orgy back to back. You know what I mean?
But you know what? Even that second orgy was like, he was behind the line when he got hit.
Yeah.
But he made a couple of juke moves and powered his way for like a 2-3 yard run. So you could tell, like, he got some, running ability.
I wouldn't mind seeing him as like a Devin Funchess type. You know what I mean? Right?
Yeah.
Speed, power. You know what I'm saying? Like a Devin Funchess type. I like that. But man, oh man, that was a big lift up too. Because when he came in the second, I was like, wait a minute, what? What's going on? And holy smokes, man, oh man, that run that he made. Oh, I was excited for that young man. So I raised my glass to Alex.
Dono had a few decent solid runs, but the halfback pass, did you call that out? Please tell me you did. Thank you.
I'm surprised the squarehead didn't say that he underthrew him. That's what I thought he was gonna say. But man, oh man.
Dude, come on, man. He's a running back. He threw that ball better than JJ. JJ would have threw that ball. Come on, man. You know JJ would have overthrown that ball.
Stop it, man. JJ hit Coastal Loveland for almost 100 yards today. Come on, man. Come on, man. This guy, come on, man.
And who was that defender that was rushing from the left side that stuck his hand out and barely got that like little tip or pass defense?
Yeah,
that could have been bad news.
That screenplay you're talking about.
Derek Moore. I think it was Derek Moore.
Little things like that, man. Inches.
Yeah.
That's probably what makes it a lot more frustrating for OSU fans right now, because they're looking at all those things. Because just like the Mike Sandistro play last year, remember? When it was 3rd and goal, and Mike Sandistro went up 1-on-1 versus the OSU tight end. I can't remember his name right now, but knocked the pass away. Stover. That's right. I mean, it's those kind of like little. I shouldn't say little plays. Those kind of huge plays with such a small margin of error that Michigan made that OSU didn't make, that made all the difference in the world yet again for the 3rd year in a row. Michigan Wolverines come out on top.
Hey, speaking of,
I can't think of any plays that like we're like, oh man, like only if we had that back. Like, oh, we had a lot of green to work with. Like I don't recall a play where I'm like, oh man, only if we had that play back. Like I think, we had 2-yard runs, we set up the pass, play action, called a great game plan, but we maximized every possession. I feel like we maximized every possession, and we had 30 points to show for it.
You bringing out Stover though brings to mind maybe an underappreciated play. But I saw you, man, Jimmy Rolder, like recognizing Stover on that. I mean, Buckeyes were ready for that play. That could have gone the distance. And though he got caught a little beat behind, he in recognition, he ran back, got beat a little bit, still has a huge chunk play for the Buckeyes. But Big Boy brought him down. That's one that Stover could have taken to the house. I mean, Rolder, almost. I mean, we're gonna need him next year, but he did his job on that play.
There's a reason why he was a 4-star.
Huh?
There was a reason why he was a 4-star recruit. Come on, Jimmy Rolder, waiting for his time.
But he was hanging on for dear life after Stover made that catch. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a game though. What a game. I'm telling you,
everybody contributed. Every single player. There were so many players that made key plays.
Except Samaj.
He only got one pass and one kick return. Come on.
Samaj got us here.
I'm just saying Reggie's favorite player him and Morris didn't do that much today, but that's okay. Everybody else,
come on.
Great team victory.
Come on, that was a bad play call, right? He was on an island. Like, it was a little screen pass. And, we're just trying to play it safe to kick the field goal. If we get it, great. If we don't, hey, we kick the field goal.
That was a bad pass from JJ. He didn't put Samaj in a good. He didn't put him in a good position to beat that defender one-on-one. Because there were 2 defenders out there, 1 blocker. Samaj was supposed to get that ball and be able to beat that first defender that's coming off.
No, but the first defender read that play the whole way. He wasn't fooled at all. He didn't hesitate at all. He was going 110 miles an hour like a missile right at Samaj. The fact that Samaj didn't get his decapitated is a credit to Samaj.
It was kind of bad everything though. Bad play call, bad blocking, not the best of throws either. But I mean, it didn't have a chance no matter what.
Come on, the throw wasn't bad. Come on. Yeah, that was one. I think there was another call I think it was in the last drive when it was like 3rd and whatever. But then again, you're in a kind of a tough situation. You can't really, you're not going to do some kind of crazy pass. Anyway, I'm getting drunk.
Come on, man. Like JJ had some like 4th and 1, right? Everyone thought run, Blake Corum,
Yeah.
right? The nice out to
Oh,
Loveland, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was a beautiful pass, right on the money.
JJ had a lot of big throws on 3rd down and 4th down.
Yeah.
You can't.
That was
the
a
other thing.
3-yard pass, man. Even you could make that pass.
Stop it. No.
I mean, not
All the
even.
marbles on the line. Come on, man. Come on,
Hey,
man.
16 of 20. He was 80%. Come on, man. Give him some credit.
I mean, there was a reason why we were perfect on 4th down and that we had a really high conversion rate on 3rd down. You know what I mean? And a lot of that has to do with JJ McCarthy. You can't put that by him. And again, the fact that one of the big things that won the game for us was the fact that 0 turnovers for the University of Michigan, 2 turnovers for OSU.
Well, and 2 runs
was a separator.
I mean, now that I think about it, he ran twice that come to mind that were pretty big. The one when he was scrambling out wide to the right and hit CJ on the sideline, that throw, that was pretty big.
Huge
for 1st
play.
down.
Yep.
Huge. And that's a JJ play. I mean, Cade, is he going to give you that? Is Drew Aller going to give you that? No, these guys are not going to give you that. JJ gives us that.
Tom McCord's not going to give you that.
No, not at all. Jaden McDad, what's his name? Jaden, the Heisman frontrunner, maybe. Yeah, he give you that.
Maybe.
And so will JJ. But that other one where he scrambled for good yardage up the gut, that was pretty big. Yes, and he didn't slide backwards. He actually maximized yardage. Huge. So good on JJ. He had himself a game, man. He showed up big last year for the Buckeye game, and he came up big for sure today too. No guarantees in the college football playoff. Okay, it's like game. No, it's game by game. It's kind of game by game.
And so I didn't want to look forward too early, but if we look forward, we lose Zinter, right? And I don't know what the status of Will Johnson's injury is.
Yeah, all right. Will's all right. We don't even play this game till January, which reminds me, who else booking tickets to Houston?
Take it easy. We have a game next Saturday. We have a game next Saturday.
What's going on?
Don't tell me you haven't looked at flights to Houston. Don't tell me you haven't already checked them out.
We have a game next Saturday.
One step at a time, please. We have to win the Big Ten championship game, snub Petiti before we even think about the playoffs. Come on.
I really think if we lose to Iowa, I think they're looking for a reason to keep Michigan out. I just can't help but think that. So if we lose against Iowa next week, which far-fetched.
Oh.
No, I think they can look for a reason to leave us out.
They just can't lose.
Nah, we're not going to lose to Iowa.
They can't lose. No. I'm like the most conservative bettor. Put me down for that one, please. Now,
hey, I'll put down a bet that our defense outscores the Iowa offense. I'll put that bet down. Okay? We're going to outscore them 7-6.
Wow.
Or I should say, the defense will score 1 interception. Oh, because they don't.
We're getting fat here. We're getting fat. Come on, man. I got too much Thanksgiving stuffing. Come on.
Pump the brakes. But it wouldn't shock me if our defense outscores their offense. It wouldn't shock me at all. It wouldn't shock me at all.
My only regret is that Cade is not going to be at the helm for the game. That's the only thing that I rue about the situation. Oh well.
Yeah.
It's still
every time I see highlights from 2021 where he's the quarterback beating OSU, I get a little
Why?
Just the way he left. Just the way he left. Sour, sore loser, bad teammate. Didn't show up to the Big Ten championship last year.
Hey. We were lapping that up when he led us to victory. Come on, man. Let's be real here. We were lapping up some Cade I think was there any Heisman talk with Cade? Come on, man. We were lapping that up.
Stop, please. I'm lapping up my vomit here.
Nah. Oh man. I mean, I'm looking at it now, next week, championship game, Big Ten championship game versus Iowa. Gotta take care of business there. No messing around. And then the college football championship, the playoffs. Let's go. Let's get it done. Who knows who will play? You know what I mean? Everything's up in the air. Georgia was playing a tout game versus Georgia Tech. Did they win? I don't even know.
Yep.
Georgia won.
Was it tight though?
They were winning by 10, I think, last I checked.
And then Washington won a squeaker over Washington State.
Bama too.
Oh, the miracle 4th and goal from the 30-yard line.
Yeah,
the
for
miracle
Bama.
touchdown. My God.
I mean, Paul Feinbaum this whole week on ESPN was talking about how Bama was so deserving of going to getting into the playoffs. I mean, because he was like, they're so much better. They're clearly one of the 4 best teams in the nation. And now I'm like, are they Paul Feinbaum? Who have they really beaten? Nobody. And the only test that they had, they lost to Texas. Everybody talks about Michigan's weak schedule. Well, hey, every big game that we had, we won. We've won without our coach unjustly being suspended. Despite all those things, the University of Michigan stands tall again, undefeated regular season.
What a team. What a season. Another season. Oh.
What a last 3 years.
Yeah.
3 years of just incredible. The hype. Just.
Hey, Reg, you should splice in some of our reactions from the past 2 years into this.
Come on, man.
So you can make this so you can make this officially 2 hours long.
Ain't nobody got no time for that. Come on, man. Crazy.
This thing's already an hour and a half or something. We might as well just make it an even 2.
No way, man. Ain't nobody got no time for that. Shoot. Oh man, but what a day, what a game. I'm not gonna lie, I was physically exhausted after it was all over because the tension I felt before the game, leading up to the game, during the game was just heightened tension the whole time, and then finally that release. When that interception was made, oh my gosh. Everything was just
that scene at the end. Oh gosh. There must have been 80,000 on the field? Like everyone descended upon the field. I mean, there was only the infirmed and the super elderly who couldn't move maybe didn't make their way down. Well, because there was pockets still in the stands.
so bad.
And nobody left
elderly and the infirmed.
Nobody was on the field. That would have been the place to be. And oh my gosh, what a scene. What a party.
They've done that the past 2 years, right?
Yeah, no, but I mean, yeah, I'd love just savor it.
But different this year. It's different this year than the last 2 years. I mean, the first one was great because we haven't beaten Ohio State in a long time, in 2021. Last year at Ohio State. But then this one, with everything that happened this season, the drama, no Harbaugh, suspension, first 3 games and the last 3 games, like it's unheard of for a college football program to have a season like this. Unheard of.
I mean,
and for us to go undefeated, 12-0.
Our head coach has been suspended for half the season. First 3 games, last 3 games. It's crazy. It is absolutely nuts. It's bonkers.
And suspended the day before, right? Just remember Penn State when he was in the air.
The circumstances surrounding this, the achievements of this team, just holy cow. I mean, you can't explain how much of a struggle it's been.
Team one, is this 144? Is this team 144? Team 144 season year 2023, the movie. You can't even make this stuff up.
You can't.
It's got to be a 30 for 30 for this. 30 for 30.
And then the week after, we're gonna fight this in court, and then on Thursday we're like, nah, forget it. We're gonna give it up. We're gonna accept the ban, the suspension, right before Maryland. Then our linebacker coach gets fired. It's craziness, just craziness.
Absolute insanity. It's been insane. It's been insane. The firestorm. Every day there's new reports about Michigan doing something, or about Michigan, people speculating
That's
about
why
Michigan.
credit to the coaches to keep this unit together, right? The leaders and Harbaugh, who's at the top, like just being resilient, being that pillar. He said it the first couple of seasons. He was like the spine of steel, right? Spine of steel. That's what he's got.
Hey, I'm wiping tears for Harbaugh. I'm wiping my tears.
Yeah.
Or all the way. I have a little confession. I would say I'm between the eternal optimist Big Reg and Bagman, who can nitpick like the best of them. Okay. I was totally stunned, just like everybody else, the first one we won on that beautiful snow-fallen day where we just shocked the world and we broke the streak. And the yelling, the leaping, I mean, I've never come so close to scraping my head on the ceiling of my house in my life, but for that game, for that big, just the crazy energy and burst that was part of that game. Unbelievable. The second one, I totally admit, no way in the shoe. I mean, maybe I issued a prediction for the win because at the end of the day, you just want to will it to happen. But the heart of hearts, no way. Going down there with their formidable team, with CJ Stroud, and with revenge on their mind in their home, no way. No. I mean, I'm just going to be totally honest. There was no freaking way. So that shocked me maybe even more. That was even more improbable that we were going to take it from them in their home. And then this one was so weird and bizarre in that, like, it seemed like NCAA and the Big Ten, even Petito, conspiring against Michigan to just not even to make it possible. Like, it was just bizarro. Like, I didn't even know what to make of it. So in so many different ways, they're unbelievable. They're just unbelievable. And now it's 3 in a row. And it's like, no one could take that away.
I mean, the first year of this 3-year winning streak, that was just like the release of trauma. You know what I mean? It was like the joy that you get after years and years of trauma. It was just exuberance. Then the second year was just the exhilaration and excitement, where you saw our players, especially Dono, with those big runs, big plays, just literally knocking out Penn State. You know what I mean? It was like a heavyweight fight, and like those 2 huge haymakers in the fourth quarter, knocking out Penn State. I was like, wow. But then this year was so different, in that there was a seething anger, an undercurrent of seething frustration and anger at all that's happened to this team. And to see that they were able to channel all those emotions and get a victory today, you're just like, yeah. Other years like, yes. But this year was like, yeah. I don't know how else to explain it other than that for me.
I really, really, really wish Bagman was here, because I think he would agree with me here that, I mean, these are self-inflicted wounds. The 3-game suspension at the beginning of the year, that was a self-imposed suspension because we knew we did something wrong. And the 3-game suspension at the end of the year where we dropped our court lawsuit, the temporary restraining order, why do you think that happened? These are self-inflicted wounds. I'm not trivializing
All
that
right,
we
I didn't want to
won
get
these games
listen.
without a head coach, but come on, man.
The
Come
reason
on.
we
Where's
dropped
Bagman?
the
Where's
reason we
Bagman?
dropped the TRO, temporary restraining order, was because it was clear that we would not win it, because one of the key arguments in the brief was proper procedures were not being followed, right? But it came out that Petito was like, listen, I'm the commissioner, I can do whatever I want, and that's going to become proper procedure. So legally, Michigan had no leg to stand on, because basically it's like, hey, I'm the commissioner, I make the rules. It was basically what it came down to. So how we were talking about, like, proper procedures, this, that, and the other thing. Yeah, maybe with the NCAA, but as it pertained to the Big Ten, we couldn't do anything, because Petito was like, my rules, my way or the highway. And then he doubled down and said, hey, if you want to go ahead and fight this, guess what? You might not be banned from the college football playoffs, but I will ban you from the Big Ten championship game. So at that point, what are you going to do? What's there to fight for at that point? It's all downside, no upside. So, all these people are like, oh, see, they're admitting that they were wrong, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no, they're admitting that there is no legal way forward in the temporary restraining order to win. Because basically it's all just, the Big Ten has all the power in this situation, as much as we hate to admit it. There is no checks and balances to the Big Ten commissioners' power in that situation. So when Ward Manuel said, hey, a bunch of you guys are saying that quote unquote justice was done, he was saying that, hey, this is a dangerous precedent that's being set by Tony Petitti, in the fact that he's basically asserting unchecked power. And that's what Ward Manuel said. He said, yeah, sure, you guys can celebrate, you guys can say that quote unquote justice was done, but that's not really the case. That is not really the case. In fact, what happened today was the establishment or the precedent being set that Tony Petitti is saying, my way or the highway, no one checks what I can do. No one has any say to stand against me. And that is something that is of concern, or should be of concern, to not only to Michigan, but to any other school in the conference. So that's why I'll say this whole thing about dropping the TRO, this, that, and the other thing, it just proves that Michigan is saying that they were guilty. No, it says none of those things. The only thing it says is that there was no legal recourse in the courts to check Tony Petitti's power grab. That's all it was. That's all it was.
I don't want to take away from the luster of today's victory. I want us to stay there.
I'm gonna have to go back and edit all that out then.
But I think it just reinforces what these players have gone through, like the last 3 weeks, just trying to stay focused. They're 18, 19, 20-year-old boys, right? Young men. And to hear this from the media, I'm sure they watch ESPN, they hear Feinbaum, they hear, Heather Dankich, they hear all the noise, but yet they still stayed focused. The coaches kept them focused. JJ, Corum, Zinter, even Chaz, when he came in, they kept them focused, and they got the job done. Like 12-0, despite every reason to stumble. There was every reason to stumble every single week, especially Penn State at Penn State.
Yeah,
Right out. I mean, the fact that we ran 32 times straight, won that game, went to Maryland. All right, it was a little bit of a trap game, but we pulled it out. And then the biggest game of the rivalry today, without Harbaugh, Sharon Moore, our coaches, right? An elite coach, man, just oozing with emotion, just oozing with pride of being a Michigan Wolverine. And every single one, including you, Squarehead, including you, Bagman, right? Take off that bag, right? Show that block of M. Be proud. to be a Michigan Wolverine. Oh,
Come on, man.
come on, man.
Tears.
Yes, sir. Yes, freaking sir. You know, just remember that in the future, when we're always like having these conversations about like, man, is Michigan saving something? Are we just playing it tight, playing this tight, close to the vest? You know, man, stuff came out today that we knew was going to come out, right? Come on, man. I mean, we should know better. We've seen this story play out over and over and over again. They're not all flash in games 1 through 8 or 9 or whatever. There's special stuff at the end for the big boys. And so we shouldn't get all riled up and be like, oh, we haven't seen it yet. Like Harb said, whether by land or by air, we will take as we see fit. Whatever they want to do, they're going to do. So in Harbs, I trust, and Coach Moore, and all you guys.
This is like an hour and 45-minute video. You're going to need like 500 gigabytes of RAM or memory.
I told you. We're getting to even 2.
You need a supercomputer.
Don't worry, I got the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Pro has got more than enough computing power. Oh man! But anyways, gentlemen, another regular season wrapped up with a big victory over the Suckeyes. I couldn't be more pleased.
His producer's probably done with dinner. Call him up.
Nah, man, he's at a hot date. It's the dim sum palace. You know what I'm saying? He's like a yum yum dimmy sum. You know what I mean?
If he's out on a date, he's done for sure.
Oh yeah. Come on, man. Producer JB's got some. He's got some riz. He's got the little sizzle going on. I guess. I don't know. Hopefully. What do you think they're talking about? Who knows? Anyway. Raise a glass and producer JB. Hopefully, it's going well for him.
He's at a Chinese place, right?
Yeah. Maybe they're sharing family style. You know what I'm saying? They got to. Yeah, the two of them. There you go. Yeah. I don't know if I would have went Chinese for the first date, but whatever. It's all good. It's all good. Anywho's, gentlemen, any final thoughts before we wrap this up?
Let's get it done next week.
Yes.
And move on.
And see Petiti. And see Petiti on stage.
Oh yeah.
See Petiti on stage.
Yeah.
Oh, can't wait for that.
Oh, it's gonna be so uncomfortable.
Just beaming with pride right now. Just so much pride. So much pride.
Dude, I really hope. This is the one thing I hope that Harbaugh really does. He does not shake his hand, just grabs the trophy, and then doesn't even acknowledge him. I really hope he does that.
Wait, so how would he do that? How would he do that? Demonstrate.
I don't know, man. Here's congratulations, Wolverines, Coach Harbaugh, blah blah blah. Here you go. Just grab the trophy. Don't acknowledge it, and
So
just get turned, just like he does with his interviews.
He just goes like this. He just kicks.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I really hope he does something obvious to basically shove it in Petey Patuna's face. Like he's got to do something obvious. More than firing Harbaugh. That's what I hope he does.
Wow. I'll jump aboard on that.
He's got to do it, man. He's got this. This is his one chance.
He'd be like, and we want to present this trophy to Coach Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines, Big Ten champions. We'll be like, just give me that thing. Just shut up. And it goes like this. Do you think he gives him a shove? He shoves him out of the way. Maybe a body blow. Some elbows. Then he just takes the trophy. Is that what you're saying?
I'm curious what the players do.
Maybe the players start like pushing him off the what do you call it? The stage. You know what I mean? That'd be funny too. They're like, all right, you got to get out of here. Or maybe they don't even
No.
let him up there. Maybe they don't even let him up there. Because what's his name? What was his name? The reporter. Gosh, what's his name? Pete Thamel.
Oh,
Pete Thamel was at a bunch of those, like college game day ESPN games live. He didn't show up to Michigan today. And then
he didn't.
No, and then Desmond Howard called him out. He's like, "Where's Pete at? Huh? Where's Pete?"
I've gone out of my way to avoid all ESPN, and I don't even watch. I don't even put one set of eyeballs on any of their content, even out of curiosity. None. Turn my back, for reals.
It's all the same story. You know what I mean? It's
Don't care.
you get
They-
nothing.
I think Michigan takes the high road, even if Petiti hands a trophy.
You think
They'll
he should
take the high road.
stand? No.
Huh?
No.
I don't know if he shakes his hand. I think he takes the trophy. But I don't think the players, they'll be told not to turn their backs even though they want to. It hurts. It might hurt recruiting.
How's that recruiting? No.
Like the parents, that something might feel like that disrespectful if they don't know the whole story.
I don't know.
That 70 recruits in the big house tonight, boys.
Ooh, some crystal ball. I saw the tight end was crystal balled. This guy Blair, he said a lot of great stuff about Michigan. Top 40 recruit 2024.
Yeah, but I thought isn't he going on a Mormon mission though?
Yes, for sure.
Is that the one?
Yeah,
so
we
he's
still
like,
we can still use him 3 years down the road.
like 27
Him and
years
his
old.
6 wives.
He's gonna be like what's his name? The quarterback for Georgia. What was his name?
Stetson or
Bennett.
something like that.
Yeah, Stetson Bennett. He's gonna be like 27 years old.
You're like Michael Barrett. Michael Barrett was like,
Come on, man. He only used how many seasons? Six seasons. Come on, it's not that bad.
These older quarterbacks, man, like they're the Heisman front runners. Like Jaden, he's a 4th or 5th year. Stetson, like you said, isn't Bo Nix like a 4th year? Like these guys have 4+ seasons under their belt, and that hooker from Tennessee last year, another old dude with a lot of experience. Like JJ had similar numbers to I think Jaden's like in his year 3. You know what I mean?
Maybe this is getting too far ahead, but I wouldn't be shocked if JJ McCarthy comes back one more year next year.
It wouldn't shock me either. I mean, I think that's a hot take that you stole from me, Big Reg. Come on, man.
Come on, man. I just thought of that right now. I was just sitting here. I thought of it. Come on.
Dude, you guys think he's ready to go to the NFL? Come on, man. He'd be a fool to leave without coming back another year.
I think he'll go well for Michigan if he stays one more year.
He needs development.
Yeah.
He needs another couple, like 2 or 3. How many games? Big Ten championship, and then 2 or 3 more totally different, vastly improved games. If he's gonna like make everyone have amnesia about earlier part of the year, and then he could do it. I mean, you win the championship and go out slinging it, he can go.
You never know. I mean, the way that Alabama beat Georgia that one year was by throwing the ball. Same thing for OSU. They almost beat Georgia by throwing the ball for a dirty hit on Maserati Marv.
I'm just saying he can change his national perception because right now it's kind of low. He's been erratic. He's nowhere close to being like in the Heisman conversation. He's got flashes. He's got athleticism. He does need another year. Honestly, another year could vault him to the stratosphere.
Wow, that could be it. It could be it. Who knows? Could be
anyway.
JJ next year again. We'll see. I don't know. Anywho, we really jumped ahead. Gentlemen, final thoughts, if any. Otherwise, we're gonna wrap it up.
Second round of final thoughts is let me think.
No.
Oh my gosh, dude, if you don't have a final thought that's in the front of your head
You know?
after 2 hours, come on, man.
Anywho's, all right, fellas. Next week, got to take care of business. Can't overlook Iowa. Iowa with that stingy defense. Never know what happens. But hey, I feel confident the Michigan Wolverines, Team 144, will get the job done. We raise our glass to them. What a heck of a victory today. The team, in all phases, offense, defense, special teams, the Michigan Wolverines proved on the field without a doubt to be the better team than the Ohio State Buckeyes. And to that, I raise my glass.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue.
Go blue, boys.